You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
The forthcoming film Reagan is poised to offer audiences a unique and compelling perspective on the life of one of the most iconic figures in American history. Directed by Sean McNamara and featuring Dennis Quaid as Reagan, this biopic delves into the storied life of Ronald Reagan, from his early years in Hollywood to politics, his relationships, including his enduring partnership with Nancy Reagan, and his presidency. Director Sean McNamara and actor Robert Davi, who plays Leonid Brezhnev in the film, give exclusive interviews to Washington Examiner. Sean shared his motivations and experiences behind Reagan.
I was sent the script by Howie Klausner, who wrote it, based on Paul Kengor's The Crusader. And, he told me it was going to be a story about Ronald Reagan. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I read the script, and it was from the point of view of a Russian spy. So all of a sudden I was saying, that's a strange way to look at our president.
Reagan distinguishes itself from other biopics by presenting the narrative through the eyes of Viktor Petrovich, a fictional former KGB agent whose life intersects with Reagan's, which is played by Jon Voight. This innovative storytelling approach offers a fresh lens through which to view the 40th President of the United States.
I was 18 when he ran for president. He was the first president I voted for. And I'm a registered Democrat, but it was just at the time he seemed likable. My mom liked him. My family liked him. And my first job in the entertainment industry, oddly, was plugging in microphones at his inaugurations.
The film was originally slated to be directed by Oscar-winning director John G. Avildsen, who directed blockbusters like The Karate Kid and Rocky. After he passed away, the project was given to McNamara. Davi's portrayal of the Soviet leader adds another dimension to the film's exploration of Reagan's impact on international politics.
My part in the film is a small little cameo, but I know much about Brezhnev that you can equate with today. Leonid Brezhnev, who was at that time period, was the longest head of Russia. He loved American culture, American movies. He loved the Westerns, and he would have loved Reagan if they were ever able to really get together.
Given its release during an election year, Reagan is positioned to spark discussions about historical and contemporary politics. McNamara and Davi both acknowledged the film's potential impact on current political discourse.
There's scenes with Dan Lauria playing Tip O'Neill. And the thing was, look, you have ideas, I have ideas. Let's fight to get our agendas through, get bills passed. But at the end of the day, we can be friends. We can agree to disagree.
Because we don't think the same way, you get blacklisted and you get shunned. And it's unfortunate because we can have passionate discussions.
In an exclusive interview with Washington Examiner, David Trujillo, the president and CEO of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute, highlighted Ronald Reagan as one of the greatest U.S. presidents, emphasizing his substantial impact on American history.
He helped win the Cold War. He unleashed an economic boom that was unprecedented, and he restored America's pride in itself.
Trujillo underscored the principle of peace through strength, a core element of Reagan's approach.
When it comes to foreign policy and national security, the core principle of peace through strength is really fundamental. We see how America, when it's strong, as it became strong during the Reagan era, became strong again, was able to stand up to Soviet communism.
Peace through compromise doesn't work as we see today. We're having attacks in Afghanistan. And the Soviet Union was in Afghanistan during the Reagan time.
The film also delves into key moments such as Reagan's famous speech.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
One of the film's key strengths is its commitment to historical accuracy. McNamara emphasized that extensive research was conducted to ensure that the portrayal of Reagan's life was both accurate and respectful.
We went back into books and we did a lot of research and we interviewed. We had Michael Reagan, his brother, was one of our consultants on the movie. And we had John Barletta, who was his Secret Service, who rode horses with him out at the ranch. So we got testimonials right from the people. We had Pat Boone, who was at his house when he was the governor, and told us a story.
The Reagan movie is not affiliated with the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute. That said, we were approached and we were happy to provide a location for filming. So the scenes on board Air Force One were actually filmed on the plane that President Reagan used as Air Force One. That plane is here where I am in Simi Valley, California, at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum. And people can come in and see it, and they can go in the plane themselves and see exactly the inside of the plane that President Reagan took to 26 countries around the world, and where Dennis Quaid playing Ronald Reagan and Penelope Ann Miller playing Nancy Reagan shot some very powerful scenes.
Reagan will hit theaters on August 30 at more than 3,500 screens across the U.S., giving audiences a chance to explore this multifaceted portrayal of a transformative American leader. I'm Sean McNamara for Washington Examiner.